Sales isn't about going and selling anybody. It's really about farming and looking for these leads. When they are ready to buy, you're the first guy at their door. In this video, we're gonna talk about sales, right? It is the most important thing in any business. If you don't have a check in hand, if you don't have money, if you don't have clients, you're not gonna survive, you're not gonna grow. And so sales is probably one of the most important things as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur in your business. I'm Stephen Taylor, this is WeeklyST. For the last 10 years, I've been building a couple $1 million cybersecurity IT support company here in Chicagoland. And every single week, we talk about things in business, in life, all across the board. So please like, share, and subscribe. The classic engineer, go be the computer guy and start a business, you know, we tend to do that work. That's the work that we know and love and we're good at, right? Is getting behind the keyboard and getting things done and getting technology fixed. But to grow a business and to be successful, and if you're not moving forward, you're moving backward, and cash is the lifeblood of a business, you have got to get out there and sell, and you've got to grow. And I think it's what keeps a lot of businesses in any different industry, you know, sub $1 million or, you know, one-man band or a couple employees or whatever it is. You've got to really learn to sell or get out there and sell or get comfortable selling. And it's a funny thing because sales isn't about selling. Sales is about building a relationship, you know, earning someone's trust, solving a problem that they have, right? It's not, here's what I've got, sign up and write me a check. It's, all right, tell me about yourself. Tell me about your business. Tell me about what struggles you're dealing with. Oh, you've got this technology monkey on your back that you can never seem to get the stuff right, and the server's down all the time, or the internet's going out, or whatever it is. Turns out we fix that, right? We'll take care of that headache for you, and we can resolve that issue for you. And then you can move forward, and that's the sales pitch. You know, it doesn't have to be that difficult. And certainly, you know, there's a ton of different features and benefits and whistles and all this kind of stuff in managed services, but the average person doesn't even understand what that stuff is, nor do they care, right? You can go on and on about the backup system and this antivirus product that we have and tell all the tech specs and the engineering, but the average person doesn't understand it and they don't care. They're often asking the question quietly, what's in this for me? What am I gonna get out of this, right? And so it's our job to find out what they need. And if we have the solution for that specific need, then we can sell that to them, right? But it's more often than backups and antivirus and firewalls and help desk, it's our technology just isn't working right for us. Or, you know, we're constantly having to call somebody to get the stuff fixed and make it right, and then we're paying, you know, we're getting nickeled and dimed, right? Sometimes it's peace of mind. You know, I don't know what I don't know, and I want somebody that we can trust, that we can lean on, who's gonna make sure that our security is in the right place, right? So it's these different kinds of things, again, of what's in it for that company, what's in it for that person that you're talking to, versus, you know, hey, here's all the features and the spec sheet and all the stuff that we do for you. It's all good, right? It's all important, but they are constantly asking the question, what's in it for me? This industry is probably rife with the line items, right? We all have the sell sheet that's got, you know, 300 different things on it, and it'd be funny to kind of, you know, go and test that theory and see, you know. So many shops, so many IT providers have said, you know, we take care of patching, we take care of updates. We have found time and time and time again that they're not doing it, right? And it's disheartening, it's disappointing, because it's one of the most important things that we do that prevents outages, breaches, you know, incidents and things like that. We've talked about it in the fashion of, you know, showcasing all the different things that you are doing for your clients, right? They do over time need to be reminded that, hey, we're doing all of these different things, because you're right, somebody could use that as a shoe-in or a wedge, right, to win the business and take it away from you. And clients sometimes don't realize all of what you're providing, all of what you're doing. And again, in this industry, because we do so much and it's not stuff that the average person understands, it's very important to have kind of that annual meeting or a recap and kind of go over. And so sales becomes an ongoing process, even with clients whom you've had for years. I struggle too, right? Because I want to share all the cool things that we're doing, right? I get excited about it, but it's a funny thing to almost just sit back and maybe ask more questions of them, right? than to word vomit all over them about all the different things that you can do. Because you really have to find out what is their motivation, why is it that they're looking to switch or looking to do something differently. Right? Once you find out their motivation, their needs, then you can solve that problem. And it might be that you have a really great backup and disaster recovery plan. It might be that the help desk is always there for them, but it really depends on what is it that they need. Because if you end up selling them backup and disaster recovery and they don't think they need anything, then it's not going to be a fit. It's not going to be a match, right? But it turns out they were looking for a really good help desk. You have that, right? You need to be talking about the right solution to the problem that they have, right? Buyers aren't, they're not going to be sold to. They're not just, oh, sure, give me something to purchase, right? They're looking for the right solution that fits their needs, that has, the things that they are looking for. And so, yeah, our job is less as a salesperson, so to speak, as it is building a relationship, rapport, learning more about them and their business, especially from an IT support perspective, right? That's a trusted partner. That's like having a new CPA or a new lawyer, right? Not just, I need a vendor to come put in a deck, this weekend, right? So it's a lot more about rapport and trust building and for a long-term relationship, right? Our clients stay with us for 5+ years and we want to continue that, right? It is more so about the relationship than what can you sell me or what can you do for me? It doesn't have to be that difficult, right? Like, we're all capable of selling and going out there and growing our businesses, right? It is daunting. It is a little bit scary. Like, I learned to sell home and auto insurance back in the Allstate days. And so I got a little bit of a sales, experience in that. But even there, it was easy, right? Clients wanted good insurance that was cheap and somebody that, they could count on to make sure that that was being delivered for them. Perfect, right? So you go and you provide quote, you find people, you provide quotes, and I close deals. And I treated the IT business the same way. Let's find people who need us, right? Because somebody who's not motivated to switch, doesn't have a need, you can sit there and sell them all day long. They're not going to buy. Find people who need you. Find people where their technology is distraught. Find people where the issues every single day are challenging their business and they need help. And then solve that problem for them, right? And you gotta knock on a few doors, so to speak, till you find people who have the need. But when you do, then they're highly motivated to find a solution for that problem and to buy from you, right? It's something that we all need to have in our business, consistent, there's got to be daily effort towards sales, right? If you hide in the server closet and you're always doing the technology stuff, you're not going to be able to grow a bigger business. And it's not just for the sake of revenue, it's for the sake of impacting a good team and growing that team, impacting more clients and being able to do more good work out there, in your community or in your area. And, that grand vision of not always having to be the technician, and not always having to be on call 24/7, as the owner of your business. And you can't do that unless you build a big team. And to get there, you need sales, you need cash, you need money. And so you got to find more people to pay you every month to be able to do that. And so sales needs to be an ongoing, daily practice that you're going after net new business. It always sucks to hear no or to get, oh, we want somebody else or whatever it might be. But you have to honor the fact that you're going to get 100 doors slammed on you or 100 no's until you get the yes. And it's just, all right, on to the next one until you get the yeses, and then you celebrate those wins, Even too, right, I focus more on the long game. We're doing quick kind of review calls with prospective clients, 13, 15-minute call, right? To see, is this a good fit? Do you have a need? Do you have a budget? Are you the right size client? Are you the right fit client for us? And it's more of an interview process for us in looking at that. And I totally respect that. Some people are kicking the tires. Some people are just, oh, what does this even look like? I've never navigated a managed service provider before. Or what can they provide? Or how much maybe does it cost? Napkin math, right? But I honor the long game too. I might have 100 of those meetings this year and 99 of them don't go anywhere. And that's okay, because maybe next year, 3 more of them turn around and say yes, or 3 more after it's a long sales cycle in this business. People don't go out today to market and find a new IT company and then they don't switch that IT company for 4 or 5 years, right? So it's a long sales cycle, and I think you've got to be more long focused on it, that you're going to get 100 no's before you get a yes, and that's okay. But continue to market to that company, continue to stay in touch, build that relationship, right? I've been following up on some people for 3 or 4 years, and they're kind of surprised. They're like, I can't believe you still call on us. Well, we're here for you when you're ready and when you need us, right? And so thinking about it from the long game versus the short-term loss of a no. From my own experiences, taking on clients that you know aren't a good fit, right? You get a bad vibe, or they start doing things in the sales cycle that aren't, kind or nice, or don't really speak to your values, or they're trying to do things their way versus follow our process, things like that. You can start to get a gut feeling for who's going to be a good client and who's not. And if you're a sucker to money, you might find yourself taking that client on only to get rid of them, or wish you get rid of them a year later. And we talk heavily in this industry about firing clients or letting clients go. Don't take them on in the first place if your gut tells you otherwise, and it will. Don't be a slave to money, because it's not worth it in the long run. It's not fair to your team. The other one I think I've seen prominently in the industry, which I've just set a policy to never do, is whale clients. So many in the industry I've seen take on a whale client, by definition, more than 10% of your revenue. But, I've seen some do the 20, 30, 50% of their revenue, and they live and die by that client. And it can kill you. It can put you out of business, or at best, it's going to hurt, in a lot of different ways with, just the struggle and the challenge. Even in servicing that client, even in scaling up your operations, even in getting more employees. And then if you lose them, you've got to get rid of those employees. And it just never seems to go very well. And so I made a policy a long time ago, no whale clients, right? I don't take on anybody that would drastically tilt the scale for us. And I recently just went back in our book. We have no single client that's more than 5% of our revenue. So we are really in a good position. And it makes it so that I'm comfortable firing that one pain in the ass client. It makes it comfortable that if somebody was to cancel or whatever it might be, we're fine. We're okay, right? We operate profit first, and so we've got room, right? And then we know that no single client is more than 5% of our revenue. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be easy, but it's not going to kill us. It's not going to hurt us. And so I would say, the one that I've stayed away from, thankfully, and I'm grateful for, is kind of that whale client in sales. I would be very cautious on how to bring a customer on that was, 20% of our revenue. I think it changes you with this whale. That whale customer can change you, and probably in a bad way, right? They start calling the shots. They start dictating. With us, it's our way. We do everything. It's not like that we're better. It's just that we do things our way. We stay in our lane. This is the way we do it. And those are the only clients we take on, right? We won't take on a break-fix customer. We won't take on somebody who wants to dictate it and do it this way. Like, we stay in our lane. We stay in our niche, if you will. And this is all we do. And then we get to kind of control the variables, which makes us efficient, which makes us responsive, which simplifies things, right? We're not doing something that's drastically different than the day-to-day, right? And I think I've seen with these whale clients, they start to dictate and they start to change your business model, right? And typically it's away from what you were doing and what all of your other customers want and need, right? And the way you service them, but then you're servicing the whale differently. And I have rarely, if ever, seen it work for somebody successfully. And sometimes that might take 4, 5, 6 years for them to realize it, or them to get fired, or whatever it is. But in the long run, it's not good for business from what I've seen. Maybe classic marketing and lead generation and all that kind of stuff. You've got to go kiss 1,000 frogs before you find the princes, right? And so always be marketing, always be out there, lead gen. However you do it doesn't matter. Like, put all your nets out there, keep fishing, and constantly be fishing for people who are your wheelhouse customer. They've got 50 employees, they're in our market, and they need technology to make their business work well, right? And constantly check in and follow up with these people, right? Every 6 months, things might change, right? And you're looking for somebody who needs you. Our technology sucks, our provider sucks, whatever it might be, and we need to make a switch. Because that doesn't happen for 3 to 5 years, constantly following up, constantly marketing, to thousands of different businesses in your market, every 3 to 6 months, so that when things change, you're top of mind, you're first on the list, right? And again, sales isn't about going and selling anybody. It's really about farming and looking for these leads. When they are ready to buy, you're the first guy at their door. One of the things I used to say is just tell people your story. A lot of guys go into startup mode, they're like, oh, how do I get more clients? Talk to as many freaking people as you can and just tell them your story. Oh, I started this IT shop. I believed I could do this, this, and this better. And for my few clients that I do have, they've loved this. Tell your story to as many people as possible and get the word out, right? You never know. It might be you're talking to somebody, but they know someone else, right? And ask, right? Hey, do you know anybody else who owns an accounting practice? Because that's what you're focused on, whatever it might be, right? If anybody was to give me an answer, I'd love to know what scares all of us about selling? What are we nervous about? And maybe it is just getting comfortable with hearing no.